You say you want to be Prime Minister?
This is my duty.
It's ambition that's got you this far. Ambition!
Where there is discord, may we bring harmony. Shoulders back, tummies in. Yes, the medicine is harsh, but the patient requires it. Cowardice. Cowardice.
Meryl Streep, you get the call. Will you do Margaret Thatcher? What do you think? I mean, what do you know of her to start with?
Well, I didn't know very much in the beginning. I was quite reductive in my assessment. As a young woman, I remember, because her politics didn't dovetail with mine or my cohort, but I remember in '79 when she was elected that we were all sort of secretly thrilled that there was now a female head of state in Britain. And we thought, if it could happen there, in America, it's seconds away.
Yeah.
And of course,
you were wrong.
Wrong again.
And when you start to think your way into a character like this, not that there are many, but how do you start? You start with the voice or and the way of speaking?
I started reading, reading, and trying to learn more about a person that had been sort of caricature only in our press and in my own mind, and easily emblematic of a certain type of person.
What do you say to people who say it's all very well doing a film about the Shakespearean Margaret Thatcher, the woman who rises and then falls, and people have talked about it as a female Lear, but it's not all right to leave out so much of the politics?
There have been other things, documentaries made, sort of analyzing the downfall and those years. For people who want that, there's material out there to look at. But our interest was to look back through her own eyes, looking at the glory days and looking at anything that she might have regretted. She might not regret the same things that history does, or people on the left or people on the right.
I didn't know that you were dropping by today, dear.
As you said yesterday, we were going to start on Dad's things. And the cupboards, and then I was going to help you dress. Got Michael and
Jacqueline.
coming for dinner tonight.
Yes, of course. We're having halibut.
It's an attempt.
Yeah.
It's an attempt, to look at her as a human being at the end of her life and to imagine what it felt like to be her. I mean, I don't think that that's an unreasonable act of imagination.
Douglas Hurd, one of our cabinet ministers, said it was a ghoulish spectacle to have so much of somebody suffering from dementia when we don't quite know what she's really like now. She hasn't spoken for 10 years now. And there's always the possibility that she will see this film herself. Did that give you pause?
It made me feel more responsible, but I feel responsible whenever I've played anyone, even fictional or real. You just try to get as close to the truth as you can. I've had experience with dementia in my own family. I don't think it's a shameful thing to depict it. I think it's part of nature. It's part of what happens
And an ageing
to
society,
all of us.
more and more of us, yes.
Yes. I would hope if she did see it, that she would understand what we were after.
OK, we've got her hidden next door. We're just about to bring Lady Thatcher in.
If she wants us to take her seriously, she must learn to calm down!
If the right honourable gentleman could perhaps attend more closely to what I am saying, rather than how I am saying it, he may receive a valuable education in spite of himself.
You're a great comic actress, among many other things, but some people have suggested that actually you are too self-knowing as Margaret Thatcher, that there was less irony and less self-knowledge in the real Margaret Thatcher than in the Margaret Thatcher that you've given us.
I've heard enough anecdotes to know that she has a sense of humor, and enough to know that she didn't really, because of her sort of cloistered upbringing, didn't really know a lot about blue humor or, you
No,
know, certainly
sure.
she wasn't hip to stuff. I think that she felt constrained to either laugh or cry because it would be seen as a sign of weakness.
Yes.
Special rule for the first female head of state. You can't cry. Churchill can cry. It's a sign of humanity. If she cried publicly, it would be a sign of her unsuitability to be in office. So different rules, I guess.
You have been not lucky because you've deserved every inch of it, but you've had a wonderful
Oh, I've been
period.
way lucky.
You've had a
I'm-
fantastic last few years, and people talk about, you know, older actresses don't get the top roles. My
Yeah.
goodness, you've proved them wrong the last few years, haven't you?
Well, yes. I mean, it
been a
all
great-
is
great
based
time.
on money. You know, if you make some money for someone, they'll give you the next picture. So that's been happening lately, inexplicably. Very happy to know that the films that I've been in have traveled worldwide. It's come as a great shock to people in Hollywood who run the studios, but they're not against exploiting it. So,
Are you able to tell us what's coming next?
another film, you mean? Yes, I've made a sort of a sex comedy with Tommy Lee Jones.
So not entirely a sequel to the one you've done, Meryl Streep. Thank you very much
Thank
indeed.
you. Thank you very much.